Hey guys.
Hey.
Hey,
Going
hey,
on?
hey. I really like this no intro. I feel like it's been getting good feedback. We're just right into it. Here we are.
No bullshit.
No bullshit. Have we talked about we talked about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Huh? I just saw a video on it. I just wanted to make sure we talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about it, and his podcast went to 1. His jersey sales are up 400%.
He's real quiet though. I just listened to the clip on the podcast where he was like, addressing the situation. He kept it pretty tight-lipped.
He kept it tight-lipped, but insinuated they're clearly dating.
Yeah, because what's funny is the more I watched it, the more I felt like it wasn't like real, like it was just like a fun thing to do, like they weren't holding hands on the way out. They weren't like, there were some clear moments where like if you were dating, you would show some affection and they weren't. But
there's a lot of speculation that was the first time they met.
The whole thing looks fake to me.
So think about, you have Taylor Swift, who's the most famous person on the planet right now. So she jumps in that convertible. Like, where's the security team?
Because it's all staged. They just went around the corner. They went nowhere. The whole thing.
It feels.
Yeah,
it feels weird. And like, his arm was out the window.
It's
like,
Fraud Fridays. That's fraud.
She has Secret Service level security. So
they were waiting at the next stoplight where she got out and got into her SUV and flew back to
the
Nashville.
whole thing is fake. Anyone who believes anything is real is an idiot.
Yeah,
I'm kind of feeling like maybe it just felt like a fun thing to do. Like he called her out.
Yes. I think
she's
that's
like, oh,
what
if
it is.
I went and did it? It's like what Drake does. Drake goes on the Bobby Antoff podcast. Like, you just stay relevant, stay in the conversation.
It's important for Taylor Swift to do these things because of the attention it gets. It's very much Drake playbook. Like, Drake does culturally relevant things like going to a basketball game or jumping on a podcast or whatever.
Playing games on Twitch.
Taylor Swift just leaned into this. Why not? She knew sit with his mom in the box and cheer, and she's good at like leaning into that.
I think that's part of being a relevant A-list star. Like, you have to do these things.
You have to find those
I think
moments.
You used to. Yeah, I think the old model is you go do press, you go do interviews, you go do whatever. I think the new model is that, like, you create viral moments.
Yeah, it's way more powerful than her going to Good Morning America and 2 million people watch you. But instead you got hundreds of millions of impressions and whatever. You gave Travis Kelce a bump for a week.
Huge bump.
Yeah.
And also, like, if you're going to do something, he's the coolest, funniest.
Yeah.
He's like one of the most like hip, entertaining NFL players.
On was hating on Travis Kelce post Super Bowl. Yeah. So I'm sick of this guy. He's everywhere.
I know.
Too much partying, too much this. I didn't forget that.
Not now. He switched. He's a Swiftie.
No, it's actually funny in my fantasy football chat. So obviously everyone's pretty dialed in all the football storylines. Everyone was sick of Travis Kelce leading up to Sunday. They're like, why is he just everywhere? Like, he's
Great
obviously
career move.
Yeah, no, it's I guarantee you he's getting calls from movie agents like, hey, do you want a cameo in this action movie in the off season?
He could do whatever he wants today. Like today, he could literally be like, I want to star in a Michael Bay film. He could do it. 6 months from now, maybe not.
Yeah, he's got to capitalize for sure.
The question is, are they actually hooking up? Are they bumping uglies?
Are they having sex, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Oh, okay. Who cares?
Yeah.
They should be. I mean, they rented, while we were recording on Sunday, the party was going on. He rented out a restaurant and they said they were out till like 2 a.m.
I mean, if you're going to do all this shenanigans, you're having sex.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Why not, right?
Yeah, I can guarantee the whole thing is fraud, but I can guarantee they're bucking.
So it's like pseudo fraud. It's like, if you.
I think it's more of like, all right, we went through all the charade. It's 3 a.m. We're obviously having sex.
But if you're smashing each other, it's kind of real. It's not like, hey, I'm hanging out with your mom and we're dating now. But like,
I think at that level, they can literally bone and never talk again.
Yeah, I agree.
Couple texts, maybe a song hit mention a year from now.
Yeah, who knows?
And then that's it. It's over. She doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care. They move on.
Yeah, she's about to leave for her world tour.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
and he's
And
got to
beginning
go
of
and win a
December
Super
started.
Bowl. So it's a perfect. It's a fling. It's great. I love it.
That's fun.
I
like that.
We didn't. Actually, I'm gonna make my winner. We can continue on. I have something.
Okay. Straight into news, or we got any other stuff to catch up on?
I do. I have very big news.
Okay. Please do share.
I made my triumphant return to the mouse on Monday.
With a subscription or what?
No, to actual Disneyland.
So,
whoa, you went to the actual, whoa.
So, we joke about me being the members tent guy. I've been
no,
officially...
we don't joke about it. We're serious about it.
Yeah.
Someone in our family has overtaken and just grabbed the mantle, and his name is Dominic.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
This guy lives like a billionaire.
He's got expensive taste, huh?
He doesn't. So, a classmate of his. We had Yom Kippur off, the Jewish holiday, on Monday.
Yeah.
So Haley, my wife, was like, "Hey, let's can you take the day off? You want to do something?" And I was like, maybe. What do you have in mind? She's like, I want to take him to Disneyland. Like, I'm happy just the two of us to go. We'll go for a few hours and come back, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah, go. It's all fine. And then a friend of mine reached out and said, hey, if I go, will you go? And what if I got the guide? And I was like, okay, now we're talking.
Yeah. Guide's a totally different experience.
Yes. And, I've, got offered a few times with the guide, but like timing and just never really worked out. And I just felt bad. I've been literally ghost for so long with the kids. I was like, all right, I will go to Disneyland. I'm committed. I'm going. So it was a group of 10 of us. We left. So on Monday, because of the holiday, schools were off. There was no traffic. So I was able to get from where I live in Hollywood to Disneyland in 57 minutes, which is insane.
Right.
And got there around 9-ish. And you park your car at the Grand Californian Hotel or wherever it is. And it's a really great experience.
That's great. You valet.
Oh, yeah. Drama's done the guide multiple times.
You
right?
get whisked into the park. It was slammed. The park was slammed. The people
Not for Dominic.
Not for
Dom.
It's funny is they had to wait for 4 minutes for one ride. I'm so tired of waiting. I was like, these kids have been waiting for 2 hours. What are you talking about?
There's kids sweating and malnourished beside him. I've been here for 8 hours.
And so, he's only been to Disneyland in the construct of the guide.
Oh, it's
so
over.
You can't take him anywhere without a guide.
So it's $5,000 to Disneyland, no matter what, minimum now.
Well, fortunately, I didn't have to.
Isn't it
but I'm saying
$10K for the day?
If he wants to go back to Disneyland,
yeah,
you're talking $5,000 minimum.
No more.
Well, no. So if you assume
it's a minimum number of people and a minimum number of hours. I think
But I don't think it's $10K. We did it one time.
8 to 10K.
We did it one time where I paid for it, and it wasn't. I forget the price, but it wasn't $10K.
Yeah, I think it's less.
7 to 8.
I think it's maybe
I don't think
during.
it's 5.
I think you can get it done for $5. I'll check. It's not as crazy as we kind of inflate it for comedy.
Yeah,
it's just that normally when people go, they take a big group. It's per
for
person.
example,
it's $1,500 a person or something.
If you were to want to go to Disneyland and go to all the rides, and let's assume you just have even the Lightning Pass.
It's 3 days.
It's 3 days.
Yeah,
which
is what most families do.
Okay, but if you get the guide, you could do all 3 days in one.
2 hours.
Yeah,
but a lot of people coming from out of town.
I know, but
so they want to make an experience out of it. They go back for naps. They do all that.
Yeah. So, judging by the crowd, a lot of people are napping.
Yeah.
The nap crowd.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Just young kids?
Just the way people are eating.
Oh.
People are eating. People seem lethargic.
I had not been to Disneyland since 1998 for grad night. And I'd never seen California Adventure. It came in 2001. So I'd never actually.
Oh, she did both parks.
Yeah, we did like 13 rides and like
Yeah, you run out. You get bored.
you're
It's
just
just
like, you're done.
Disneyland.
we were like, what else do you want to do? Okay, we're done. I think we had to wait one line with 20 minutes because there was that many people. But other than that, everything was like within a minute, and then you're done. You know, these rides are what, 60 seconds long,
Right.
90 seconds long, and then you move on. And I think what I couldn't believe is, one, it's just obviously very crowded. And the thing is like the cost, and we've talked about this. The cost of the ticket is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
You know, food is extremely
Especially with
expensive.
kids.
Yeah, and like so, like the rule with the parents was every kid can pick out one toy at the end. So, you know, they're trying to get you every single corner. So at the end, each kid got to pick out a toy. Dominic picked out, in my opinion, objectively, the worst toy.
Okay. What was it?
He picked out some like, what character is like a chipmunk? Are there any chipmunks?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
But that's not Disney.
No.
It's like a squirrel. Okay. It's a squirrel. It had two squirrels and was a fan. Like when it's hot out, it's a fan with a water squirter. So I was like, this is your one toy? This is the toy.
It gets hot.
We were leaving. It was not. We were leaving.
Well, he maybe gets hot at home a lot.
So you try to convince him to get another toy in line?
I was like, what are you doing? This is like literally stupid.
And what'd he say?
No, he's like, no, I want this. This is what I want. I want this toy. I was like, do you understand what it is? It is a fan.
He knows what he wants.
Care. Has he been using it?
Wait, the question with the guy?
Yes, in the morning he's just fanning himself.
There you go.
Yeah.
You
He's
guys
a diva, man. He's gonna have Miles fanning him, feeding him grapes here pretty soon.
But my question: do you get to skip the line to take the photos with the characters? With the guide. So like Elsa probably has a 3-hour line.
I don't think so. I don't know. We didn't take any. What's interesting is like I obviously didn't go with Dominic when he went first time at 4, and then he went last year, and then this year. He was not interested in any characters.
Yeah.
I don't know what age you lose interest in the characters. I mean, I saw like 40-year-olds taking pictures of characters.
Yeah, there's a lot of
adults there with no kids.
Yes.
That does cause me some concern.
And they have the ears. They wear the ears.
Everyone was wearing the ears. You know the other thing, which is it must be a massive business. Everyone is wearing like merch that they made. Like mom,
Etsy.
dad, son, grandpa, brother with fucking ears. Like everybody had like family merch. And you know they got ripped off on this family merch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Family merch is
Etsy
huge.
sellers, right?
Yeah,
it's got to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could do custom tees on Etsy.
You could do anything on Etsy.
Yeah, there's a lot of fraud happening on Etsy. I've noticed.
Well, it's IP infringement.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
fraud. But
I'm surprised they haven't cracked down on that.
I mean, nobody has cracked down on any of these places. Alibaba, Amazon, eBay. But my point is that like, it is just this staggering how much money is spent on the Disney experience outside of the ticket itself. Between the merch, the food, just everything. It's just so expensive.
Yeah.
I'm blown away. I'm blown away how many people are committed to spending that much money. And to me, like
it's
Disneyland,
just constantly packed.
It feels dated. Does it?
I agree.
It doesn't feel like, I don't know. I mean, it didn't feel like some magical ass place.
So I went for the first time in ages last fall, and I do agree it doesn't feel modern.
Yeah.
I think Harry Potter World, from what I see on Instagram, because it's built much more recently
Where's
in
that?
Orlando, is a much more modern experience. Star Wars Land or that area felt modern.
Where's that?
In Disneyland.
Okay.
But I do agree, like, you walk by Pirates of the Caribbean and the Jungle Cruise, you're like, it's the same that it was when we were 8 years old.
Like when we did the Jungle Cruise experience, if it wasn't for the guy who was like cracking jokes, you know, I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
But also, if you're the one running that business and you see that
I guess you don't need to
printing
make
money. You're like, what are we going to do? We're going to overhaul it.
Yeah,
You know, like there's no incentive.
Yeah,
but I agree.
there is no
I think
incentive
both are true.
to overhaul it. It's working.
Yeah,
Right?
the characters work.
But even the rides, like people are still standing in the line from the ride from the 80s.
Yeah. Nothing's
you know,
changed.
like literally, there's rides from the 70s probably still, or 2-hour lines.
It's crazy how many Disneylands there are. Paris, China.
Yeah.
I wonder if China feels new because it's new.
Maybe the nostalgia is a big piece of it. Like people want to preserve that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just like, just people watching is just unbelievable. Like, why is everyone walking around with those big ass chickens?
What
do
you
you
do?
mean?
The big chicken leg, the drumstick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the
It's
actual
part of the
food?
experience. It's like
Yeah,
a cruise, man. It's like you go be as sloppy as possible. It's like
Yeah.
premium American fucking sloppiness at that place. It's amazing. Okay, well, it's funny. I'm curious. I can't wait to see how Dom, because Dom's going to have a lot of high level experiences.
Oh yeah.
Dom's going to be at Super Bowl before too long.
Yeah.
Dom's going to be not waiting in line at any LA,
What's interesting
restaurants.
is
Tom needs D to have a big ass exit because
Yeah,
once he's
I
an
can't
adult,
keep-
No.
I can't
He's
keep
gonna
up
be
with
like,
this kid.
Dad, how come Tom has a Bentley?
What's interesting is like he obviously was excited to go and he enjoyed it, but it's funny because like I think like the most excited he is this week is playing after school with some kid in his class, and he was even more excited for that than he was for this kind of experience. So I'm curious to see, is it like we just have the ability to give him access to it?
I think he's already jaded.
Yeah, he's just like, all right, whatever, I've been. I don't need to
Yeah.
see this.
Imagine being jaded at 6.
Yeah.
Like you've already done everything.
He's like, I've
He's like,
been there,
listen,
dude.
money doesn't buy happiness, guys.
No.
No, it's sort of like, like the newfound billionaire that's already flown private, been to every hot island. They become like a monk and like do silent retreats and
Yeah.
they like do this
That'll be
minimalist
Dom
minimalist
at
lifestyle.
8.
Maybe he's gonna go minimalist. I'm
Yeah,
after
Dom's a
school
monk
guy.
by 8.
Yeah, he's just like, all right, I already did all this. What am I doing here?
Yeah. That's amazing.
I think
Okay,
I'll do
that's
some
good.
homework. No one's doing that.
Yeah.
Nah, you don't do homework when you already have the financial benefits.
Yeah.
You do homework because you need to get to Disneyland on that VIP pass.
Like he hasn't been in a commercial airport terminal
Yes, he has.
as old enough to know what it is. Like now, in the last 2 years.
Well,
he
he's
has
only
not-
taken one flight in 2 years.
And that was not at a commercial airport.
No.
You're fucked. You are fucked.
We just have to hope Miles has rich friends too. Otherwise,
Miles is going to be
Yeah.
row 30 coach middle seat while
Yeah.
Dom's walking to Van Nuys.
Oh my God. Well, look, I mean, really rich friends or an exit will keep this party rolling.
Party
But you got
going,
yourself
yeah.
a little like Dom's like in his own little Ponzi scheme here. Where you have to keep the party, keep the perception alive.
Oh my God.
Okay, you want to talk about news?
Yeah.
The FTC. This is interesting. The FTC is on to Amazon. Monopolistic practices, the way that they manipulate search results, the way that they put their own products first, the way that they, Amazon for a long time, we've talked about it for a long time on this podcast, and it's no secret that a lot of small businesses are really frustrated with Amazon. They do a lot of tactics that are, I don't know if they're quote unquote monopolistic. We'll find out, but it's very tough. It's tough for small businesses. It's tough for any business. They do gain a lot of data from different businesses' products. They do make their own private label products. They do feature those products first. They do make you, use their certain compliance things.
Mm-hmm.
They do, there's a lot of stuff. It eats away at margins. It looks really good on the surface. When you get into it, it's a little challenging. It's not all that it seems. And for a while, it just kind of seemed like, that's Amazon. They're big, they can do it. But they're getting some pressure.
Yeah. So big part of the lawsuit is that they are punishing sellers who have prices cheaper on other platforms.
Yep.
And they're saying that their results are being pushed down on the organic search results and hurting their Amazon business. They're also claiming that Amazon is optimizing for ad results in the search results, not organic searches. That one is obviously, to me, the easiest one. I think it's pretty hard to prove the first one. I could be wrong, and I'm sure they're doing it, but I think it's hard to prove. I think Amazon is definitely pushing the boundary on how they treat their sellers. I'm a, frustrated seller myself. Just my experience has always been very challenging with Amazon to scale. And I think if you talk to large Amazon sellers, they are operating on pins and needles every fucking day from their listings getting taken down. And so I think there's a lot of truth to this lawsuit. I think changes in Amazon have to be made. I think the challenge is how much of a black box is this that the government will ever get access to?
I think the challenge is what we talked about in the last pod, that Lena Khan's been an ineffective FTC head, that she's pursued a lot of different initiatives against big tech and has been largely unsuccessful. So,
but 17 attorney generals are also involved. 17 states joined the FTC on this one.
Yeah, so I guess I saw a clip where people are basically she pretty much said, without saying it, she's going to lobby for a breakup of Amazon. So obviously AWS is the cash cow that funds the marketplace business. I just don't see that happening. I think Amazon, there's probably a lot of merit to their, malpractice and penalizing small sellers, but I just don't see anything happening. Do you guys? What could they do? Yeah. What could the FTC do?
Penalize, huh?
I think they could penalize.
Punitive. What punitive things? A fine? Maybe a fine?
No, you have to change the way they operate. A fine does nothing. They won't
be able to. There's no one equipped in the government that could.
In this case, there are 8 million people signed up with Amazon seller accounts. 2 million are active. All you have to do is get 100 of them together and do some real fucking work.
So I think that when Microsoft is going to their antitrust issues, that they actually had to check in with the government with all big decisions, and antitrust attorneys were monitoring them that closely. Do you think our government today is equipped to do that with any of these big tech companies?
Maybe some of those migrant workers we have coming can do that.
They said they're here to help.
Yeah, they are. There's 3-4 million now.
They said they're going to fill jobs. Yeah, I don't look
think
on in my
theory,
honest answer is, I think
Amazon. This all
Amazon's,
sounds great, but
I think Amazon's guilty, and I think nothing will happen. That's my short answer.
Yeah,
that's probably right. I which is sad because I do think some of their practices, these Amazon seller is the new mom and pop business. That
let me tell you a story.
Destruction. Go ahead.
Let me tell you a story that I deal with every day. Is people will knock off our game. There'll be fakes of it. They will put it on Amazon under our brand name at a cheaper price than ours. Amazon can't keep those people off. They can't regulate. They can't police that. So it'll knock our price down to whatever the reseller, the fake seller is selling it for, which then causes Target, Walmart, every other of our retailers to knock their price down because they're all just competing with bots for who has the price online. And then Amazon goes a little lower because their model is to match and beat. And then Walmart goes a little lower, and then Target I had a situation at the beginning of this year where our game, which retails for $25, went all the way down to $14 on all of these websites. And there was nothing I could do
So let me ask you a
force it
question.
back up.
In that case, if we were to track back, is how did that person get the inventory? Just so I understand, in your eyes.
So the one that I'm dealing with today, just to speak about today, it's a fake. I don't know how they got the inventory.
Okay, so
there's
they just
fakes out there, you know.
Okay, got it. It's not like customer X liquidated some inventory. They just happened to be 100 game packs and they went on Amazon to get rid of them. It's not that.
Correct.
Okay.
So have you bought the fakes? Have you seen the comparison?
Pretty good?
Not bad. You know, I mean, not the, you could notice, you know, if you were a fan, but if you weren't a fan, I mean, they did it on Temu and Shein too, which we actually shockingly got down, but those were straight up fakes. And if you didn't know, how would you know? You don't know it's any different. You'd have to own the original and then buy that one and see that it's different. But that's just an example of like, so we had to take down Shein and Temu, which was a nightmare, but Amazon here in the US, you can't even like, if I sell to Target, let me give you an example. If I sell my games to Target or my product to Target, that's it. Like we're not really strangers. They get it from us and that's it. But it's almost as if you went into a Target one day and just down the shelf, there was other We're Not Really Strangers games that they're like, oh, sorry, someone shipped it to us. Nothing we can do. You're going to have to now match their price. Yeah. And it's this weird thing where like, how can you not? And then it causes a race with all these other, everyone else's e-com. And it's such an insane nightmare because of their inability to police your brand on their
So site. I didn't know that. So you're telling me if there's a fake on Amazon selling for $14, Walmart and Target have algorithms where they automatically lower the price of the games that are legitimate?
Yeah, so I want to be careful that I don't like misrepresent them, but that is what it seems like, is that they don't, it's not a person saying, all right, well, hey, the price is $14.99. They all just have triggers that says it's that price on there, so it's this price on it, you know, we're going to match it. And people like Amazon have a match and beat sort of system, which is that they're going to match you and then they're going to go a little cheaper, 50 cents. But if anyone else programs a match and beat, now you race to the bottom. And there was a moment where, like I said, our game raced to $14 and I was calling all three of them and there's nothing you can do. And not only is there nothing you can do, but it's a really tricky trap where you're also like kind of dabbling in the world of like price fixing. Like there's laws to actually stop you from manipulating price between different retailers. So now I look guilty as if you could threaten me and say I'm trying to price fix. It's just really, really tough on for a small business trying to solve this puzzle. It's really tough. And it's usually, I would say Amazon is the hardest to police because of third-party sellers and all these things that you can't control.
And their view is always like, every seller is treated equally. Everyone's equal. And that's not, there are bad actors.
Of course.
And the bad actors are treated equal. So if you're going to be a criminal, that's a great platform to be a criminal because you're treated equally.
If I walk into Target with a bunch of, toothbrushes that are off-brand fakes and say, I'll sell you these for cheaper, they don't buy them and put them on the shelf. But on Amazon, you can do that, and you can do it under somebody else's brand name, and it's hard to get down. It's not super easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll get a slap on the wrist and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of Target.
Yeah, speaking of Target's on our news today. Man, so like this has happened a bunch of times now. Some, I think maybe Starbucks or like a lot of these national chains have said, you know what, screw it. We've heard about all the theft and all the stuff that they've had to deal with. A lot of them are just closing stores. So Target is the most recent. They're closing 9 stores in major cities across 4 states because of the level of theft and crime, and it's just too much, not worth dealing with. To close an entire Target, that must be an insane amount of theft. Like I could understand a Starbucks. A Target's pretty wild.
And check these locations. East Harlem, New York City. 2 locations in Seattle. 3 locations in Portland. 3 locations in San Francisco and Oakland. Theft is expecting to cost Target $500 million this year. That is so nuts.
Yeah, and I think it's also an employee safety issues, right? So
That's
a
true.
burglar comes in and, threatens your employee, that's a lawsuit. So they've clearly done the cost benefit of what are the legal claims we're going to face from employees and how much theft is this store going to have, and the math's upside down.
Yep.
It's tough.
It's just
these retailers are in a tough spot because at the end of the day, their only obligation is to shareholders, nothing else. And so they are trying to obviously grow their business, but at the same time, they're getting their teeth kicked in because of local laws that are basically not protecting small businesses. So
Yep.
I know, like, we joke about it, but like, you start closing, how big is a Target? 100,000 square feet? They're huge.
Yeah.
You just
They're
start
huge.
closing 50,000, 100,000 square foot stores all over the country. There's no one's going to come in. No other retailers will be like, you know what? Target had theft issues. Even dollar stores are talking about theft issues. So this is like a combination. It's like people don't understand the societal implications of things like inflation to how you can correlate that to theft, right? Like the Federal Reserve is out here fighting inflation. The U.S. government politicians are trying to like worry about softer jail times for petty criminals, but like all of it's interconnected. Why is everyone stealing more? Because shit got too expensive, and then the laws got changed on top of that. There's no punishment.
There's no consequence to stealing.
Yes. I mean, and to that point, you saw what happened in Philadelphia last night. It was fucking chaos.
So have you guys seen I think I put it in the group chat, the Kia stealing the car went viral on TikTok?
You just said it. I didn't see it.
Okay, so this is how brazen, young people who are just bored. So apparently Kias right now, if you take the plastic under the wheel and you just put a USB cord in it and turn, the car starts. So people are smashing the back of the window of a Kia, climbing in and going on a joyride and just leaving it. And it's become a viral moment on TikTok that you steal a Kia and you're bored. And they're taking pictures and they're showing like what this Kia person has in their car. Like, oh, they have a banana. They have these clothes, these shoes or whatever. And I don't think there's any consequence for any of these people. They're not even trying to steal the car. They're just trying to like participate in a viral moment.
This is why, like, when people talk about like why TikTok is so dangerous, it's basically weaponizing stupidity.
Yes. So like a young person's going to see that and they're bored. Like when we were teenagers, the most excessive thing people would do would be like egg a house, TP a house.
I'd steal shit once in a while.
Steal, fine, but it's not, you're not thousands of people saying like, let's steal a fucking car.
Yeah. I would never
in
steal
Philadelphia, you saw like people live streaming, like looting Lululemon and looting whatever. And the police are kind of handcuffed. These retailers are going to do the math and be like, we all know retail margins are tight as it is. When at the end of the year, like you're getting 8-10% EBITDA if you run perfectly. You have 2 smash and grabs in the year in one store, you're done.
Yeah. So
And also my question is like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know this for a fact, but like, I don't think that these looters are like only enemies of big business. I would imagine that there's probably smaller businesses that can't take one of these moments happening that must be happening. We just don't hear about it in the news because it's not in earnings reports and things.
We talked to an independent retailer right here on La Brea, smash and grab, lost a shitload of inventory. I think what will happen is insurance rates for retail will go skyrocket so high, which will probably create a closure wave. Like insurance in California is already absurd. There's basically, California is making it so hard to want to have a business here.
I would argue in today's climate in California, retail stores are uninsurable.
Yeah. It's not worth it.
Why would, if you're an insurance company, theft is rampant.
Yeah.
Why would you insure that business?
Or you just say, look, we know 30% of your store will be stolen in here. We'll cover up to after the 30. We'll start covering you.
Yeah. They should just bake that into your margin.
Yeah.
I feel like certain cities are just going to have to become, like we joke about San Francisco. I feel like it has to get way worse. These like Portland, Seattle, they have to just get so bad. Everyone moves out. All the big stores move out. All the whatever moves out.
Or
San
Francisco.
Like, how do you not have all the data you need right now?
They love tech. It's all e-com, just no stores.
Yeah. I can't imagine why you'd want to open a store in San Francisco.
I mean, look, once all the stores are gone, guess where they're going next? They're going to the restaurants.
Where are they stealing the liquor?
Just steal from people. Just smash it over their head
money.
And just take their, whatever. Fuck them.
Yeah, take some, some buns, just get some supplies.
I mean, we have Beverly Hills proper has cleaned it up. And if you go to Beverly Hills proper.
But there's still smash and grabs there.
I don't think so. Not like South Beverly Drive, Rodeo, all those places that were getting affected.
But there was Saks not too long ago. Like I heard within the month.
The Saks on Wilshire?
Yeah. I think they're doing also a good job of not reporting it because they know it creates hysteria. It doesn't make people want to go there.
And it attracts more criminals. Like, you can get away with it in Beverly Hills?
Yeah.
I think instead of actually solving the problem, they're just reporting on it less. That's their solution.
Yeah. I don't think I'm actually shocked at this point. Like, people don't want to change the law. Like, what are you protecting at this point?
Yeah. I don't know. But it's not, nothing's.
Yeah, I think
I thought with
right
that old lady. Go.
Saying you're right about the reporting less because remember there was a peak of 21 where if you're in LA, Rolex gone, everything gone. You just don't hear about it as much. So you think it's just an underreporting problem?
Yeah, it's still happening. I still hear stories about watches getting taken at gunpoint all the time. I do. I still hear about it all the time. And a lot of home robberies. I hear about that all the time.
Yeah, they stopped reporting those too.
I was walking with someone near our office yesterday with a nice watch. I was very nervous.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you going to wear that?
It feels like blood in the water.
Yeah.
Because, these guys are tricky. One of the techniques, I think we talked about this, but is they zoom up and down the street on birds and they spot your watch, but they keep zooming and then they wait for you down the road.
Oh.
Or they zoom past the outdoor patio where the restaurant is, and you just think you don't even see you're getting set up, and then all of a sudden they come run up on you. So you don't know if anyone who's passing you is scoping that watch out. It's because you got to think about it. These guys have had 2 years now to dial in their practices. They're well-run machines. They're efficient.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Okay, here's another scary thing. TikTok. So this is another thing that I feel like we've talked about on the pod. It almost feels repetitive at this point. We feel like it's a pretty massive issue. But the issue of TikTok being so widely used in the US, even though it's a Chinese-owned company, there doesn't seem to really be any, there's been little, it doesn't, this state or this college campus or this government building, you can't use TikTok. That all feels like bullshit to me. I'm sure every one of the kids at those schools just whatever, have another phone, or it's just, I'm guessing if you can't use it on the school's Wi-Fi or something, it's silly. But the new thing is that TikTok was kind of just reassuring over and over, hey, it will be separate. We're going to have a U.S. office. We're going to have U.S. executives. It's separate. It looks separate, very separate. And some TikTok employees are now getting concerned because there seems to be kind of a wave of ByteDance employees kind of coming in, or ByteDance executives from China, from Beijing, into the U.S. office. And it's just a little bit of
hey,
what's going on?
Because obviously,
hey, Mr. Wang, what are you doing here?
Hey,
TikTok is obviously the fastest growing segment of ByteDance. So you got to bring the big dogs in from China.
Yeah.
You got to make sure you fucking boost that smash and grab content, get our just
all of a sudden, he just turns that knob. Kia, turn. Group looting, turn.
There you go.
Yeah,
Pure chaos.
I saw a funny meme of everyone's worried about Chinese getting the data, and then he goes the data, and it's like girls with the trying to get hot dog wieners. Like it's like you basically have it like a fishing pole on your back, and you're trying to catch like a hot dog
and
wiener in your mouth.
Bikinis.
Yeah, they're all in bikinis.
That's true.
I actually don't think. I honestly, if I'm being like objective, I don't think it's a data play because, yes, I think China originally thought we're going to get American data. Then they realized we're morons. We're fucking morons. But I think they're saying like, fuck it, we could just help the decay of society. That's a win in itself too.
And if you think about, we joke about how, we were just talking about people in scooters just spotting your Rolex and then they rob you. But what China can do with TikTok is make America look like the scariest place on the planet,
which is what they're doing right now.
And they're doing it because if I talk to friends internationally, they're like, "How do you even live?
How do you live in the house?"
Yeah. Everyone thinks,
and they can make us all hate each other.
Yes, they can make us all hate each other, and internationally, because of social media and because of TikTok, people think. I know we talk about how much crime there is in a lot of the major cities. But generally, you're fine if you just take the proper precautions. Don't wear the $100,000 watch.
Yeah, if you are a normal person, you go to work, you go to dinner, you go home, and you live a simple life, your life is fine.
Yeah.
The problem is TikTok has it looking like Gotham City.
Right.
And we need Batman.
Especially like, do you think someone in China didn't thumb the scale like these morons are going to steal Kias?
Yeah.
Let's just keep showing more Kias.
I mean, why
stolen.
wouldn't you? And if you're not doing it now, you'll do it later. Like, why wouldn't you? It's too easy. Think about how valuable propaganda is to a country.
Well, I think that's where, like, historically, America has always been so strategic on playing the long game. Why do we have military bases in every corner of the earth? Strategic oil partners, all these types of things. The problem is that technology, even the playing field, even for countries, and countries realize there are other ways to get what you need without having the military behind you. And we're still spending trillions of dollars on the military. Everyone else is investing in, like, the sports washing thing of the Middle East is going to change the perception of the entire region.
It already has.
It's worth trillions of dollars. It's better than going to war. Yep. It's way better. Like, historically, America would impose physical presence with war and saying, we own the oil. No, if you own the culture and you own the perception, you will change the trajectory of a region. Similar to what happened in China is they're like, look, are we really going to go and drop nuclear bombs on each other and just kill ourselves? No. But can we make a bunch of girls in bikinis catch wieners? Yes. And by the way, it gets the same result that we wanted, which is we want to kill America.
And if you think about it, like, these employees at these companies, there aren't the controls that you would think. So early days of Uber, early days of Facebook. I know someone early days of Uber where there's like God mode where you can see where everyone's going. And like, I had a friend that like joked to another friend in San Francisco, like, what were you doing there at 2 a.m? And like, just to fuck with them. And D has a early Facebook employee friend that would like go into Michael Phelps's DMs on Facebook and see, like, at the peak of the Olympics to see how crazy it was. And you're telling me someone in China is not bored? Like, let's get this Kia thing going.
Yeah. Or the wiener thing. Chief wiener officer.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
It works. It works.
It's too easy.
And I'm just saying, it doesn't even need to be as structured as we think it is. Like, there's this like Chinese government, which I'm sure they're doing, controlling TikTok. There's also employees that's fucking around. Yeah. They can make anything trend.
Like, if you work there and you're like, hey, I like these Kia videos, I want to see more. I mean, there was after the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift thing, there was a trend where a girl would film her boyfriend and she would tell her boyfriend, can you believe Travis Kelce got famous because of Taylor Swift? My point is, I watched one of those videos. There was endless. There was probably 100 videos. So my point is, it's so easy to make people all do a thing. Like, hey, if you make a video like this, it's going to be popular. And everyone makes that video. Hey, if you go steal a Kia and film the insides, it's going to be a popular video. All right, fuck it. I'll go steal that car. Like, it's so easy to get hundreds of people
And
to
by the
go
way, there's
do
no
it.
punishment for stealing a car, so fuck it.
Yeah, Kias are less than $900, right? But yeah, it's so easy to like, all you got to do is incentivize and say this type of video is going viral right now. And, 1,000 people will go do it instantly. Why wouldn't you put your thumb on the scale? But the point is, like, if you do this and then you ship us a bunch of fentanyl, it's perfect. Why ever even bother with a missile?
Yeah, that's what my point is that like we continue to spend I find it hard to believe at this point America or China, a rogue country maybe, is going to drop nuclear bombs. And just ruin it for everybody?
Yeah, there's no incentive because the world's over overnight.
The whole party down.
Yeah, I mean, like, all this is gone.
The fear is like Putin on his last legs. If he's sick.
That's different. I think a rogue country can do that. But at U.S. China, like, we as a country have to figure out how to fight the battle in a much different field than what they think it is. Like, oh, we have military presence in Taiwan. Okay, well, they got wieners. We're wiener chasing.
Yeah. We've been chasing wieners for the last decade.
I remember like a few years ago, because you guys are large TikTok content creators, they would email you on Monday, like, these are the trends. Do they still do that?
Yeah. They do. But
you
they're pretty.
Did you get the wiener memo? Wiener,
it's been
not
wieners.
really strangers.
It's been, we changed the name. It's been nothing but wieners for the last 3 months. Yeah, they do it. But I will say it's pretty, like, it's pretty topical. It's not that, like, helpful. Because what really goes viral is, like, tell your boyfriend Travis Kelce's only famous because of Taylor Swift. And they never could have saw that happening. So it's more like, go steal a Kia, would be like what really should be in the email. But yeah. And look, everything that I'm hearing, I don't know if you guys are hearing this. I'm hearing a lot. I don't have any info myself yet. I'm hearing a lot about the progress of TikTok Shop.
Yeah.
A lot of people are seeing success on there. And,
it's working. It's starting to work. I've talked to a few people about it. It's definitely going to be the next thing.
Yeah, it seems effective. And here's an interesting point from this week. There's a company called C Limited, which is, think Amazon and gaming for Southeast Asia. So like Indonesia, Thailand, those countries, right?
Okay.
TikTok Shop was banned in Indonesia, and C Limited went up 14% on that news. A $20 billion company, 14% with TikTok Shop being banned. So obviously it was making a dent.
Yeah.
And
or even it was about to, and they just said, fuck it. Why risk it?
So people were already scared of it. So do you think they're an Amazon competitor?
100%. Shein and TikTok Shop are full-blown fucking Amazon competitors.
Why isn't Lena Khan focused on them, and why is she focused on Amazon? Because she wanted to be in the headlines? No one gives a shit if she
she wants what's popular with the woke voters.
Yeah, you're correct.
Woke voters don't think about Temu and Shein. They think about Jeff Bezos, Elon
and
Musk,
his yacht,
Bill Gates. Fuck those guys.
That's the gift and the curse of having a faceless company.
Yeah.
Like TikTok and Shein are basically faceless.
Yeah.
Whereas like there's a villain in the American companies.
And I think Google's gotten away with that because no one really, like, tech people know who Larry and Sergey is, but they're not pop culture famous.
They purposely have operated their business in the backgrounds because they know they're still in power. They just
I think if you walked up to 10 people on the sidewalk and asked who's the founders of Google, I don't think they tell you. Maybe one.
Here's a funny story. I won't say who it is, but very close friend was at Burning Man smoking a blunt with someone. You could probably already figure out who I'm talking about.
Larry and Sergey.
And they had like a 40-minute conversation on the playa. And our friend goes, hey, if you're ever in LA, I'll take care of you. And then the other person in the party is like, you idiot. That's Sergey Brin. He doesn't need your fucking help in LA.
Oh, he didn't know who he was.
He didn't know who he
exactly.
was.
Exactly the point. And that friend, if it's who we think it is pretty fucking smart. And still doesn't know who that is.
They're also in costumes on the playa. So.
I know, but I think the
Lena
whole world
doesn't even know.
If Larry and Sergey showed up to your, dinner party, you don't know who they are.
No.
Yeah.
I honestly don't even know what they look like at this point.
Yeah, if they walked in that room right now and got on camera, I would be like, who are these fellas? I couldn't spot them in a crowd.
I think that's helped them. That's helped the company skate.
Yeah.
Because there's no villain.
No one talks about YouTube. That's a monopoly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no villain.
Yeah. And right now we villainize billionaires. So that's why I think the real threats, look, I think Amazon is, it's a bummer for a lot of small businesses, but I think a true threat is, this TikTok, Shein, Temu thing that's getting zero attention.
TikTok, Shein, Temu, and and simultaneously, the best retailers in America, Target, Walmart, Walgreens, are shutting their stores because we can't protect their
and we
staff.
don't care. And they're shutting their stores because of the laws, not
exactly.
in spite of, not that the laws are helping, but not enough. Like we don't care at all about our own.
The same politicians that are making these laws that are causing people to commit crimes aren't making laws to protect American companies against these competitors.
Yeah, and you're putting the onus on the private business owners. So, I go to the Grove pretty much every week. The security post that Nordstrom smash and grab is insane.
Yeah.
And that's all on Caruso having to foot the bill.
Yeah.
There's security all over the Grove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's just going to make things more expensive. It's going to destroy neighborhoods. That's what people don't realize. Like when you lose a Target or a Walmart in your neighborhood, there's so many, how many jobs is created?
Yeah.
Not just the people that work there, but the ecosystem, the coffee shop, the restaurant,
exactly.
the dry cleaner,
the Starbucks.
Because they're all in
dead.
plazas. They're all in plazas that the surrounding stores do really well.
plazas.
Plazas. What do you prefer, plaza?
Yeah, I like plaza. I don't like plaza.
I think there's a difference, actually.
Which plaza and
I
plaza?
think there's a difference between a plaza and a plaza.
What's the difference?
I don't know. I could be wrong. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. It's frustrating, but I do have hope that there at some point the rubber band has to snap back.
I don't think so.
It's too nuts.
No, I think
you don't think so. What if Portland, Seattle, and San Francisco all become fucking fentanyl ghost towns?
So
you don't think
here's a good
sanctuary cities.
Good question.
Yeah.
If Gascon ran today in LA, would he win again?
Probably.
I think so.
So how's the rubber band snapping back? If we can't even,
no, I don't think it's snapping back yet, but I think it has to.
Obviously, it has to.
The thing that's
just like
the thing that's crazy to me is that it's not yet, but I think it has to be. The next couple years?
I don't know.
How bad does it have to get?
I mean, San Francisco's pretty bad in terms of that one pocket of San Francisco, and there's nothing happening. Nothing's happening.
You just see people on Twitter, tech Twitter, complaining.
Yeah, they're just complaining, but everyone's just leaving. The retailers are leaving, not people.
Do you realize that
leaving?
When that guy got stabbed, the Cash App guy, even though it ended up not being like a homeless crackhead,
yeah,
there were people that were pissed, legitimately mad that people would even insinuate that it might be because San Francisco's not safe. And they were dunking on them there are people that are so delusional.
Yeah.
And get mad when you even say that there's a problem. So, I mean, how much longer that seems to be, we're not quite there yet, but.
Agree. I think we're far from that.
Okay. Next up, complete topic jump. Well, kind of, it also shows what's going on here. Once again, topic we've talked a lot about, Ozempic, all of those what are the other ones called?
Manjaro.
Yeah. So these diabetes, drugs that have also become very, very popular for weight loss. We have an article here about how, they're too popular. They're so popular that it's increasingly hard to get. They're in so much demand that it's hard to get. There's one thing that I did want to share with you guys because I thought you guys would think this was really funny. We haven't talked about it yet, but I did read the Elon book.
Oh.
And one of the absolute highlights was that he, I don't know currently, but he for a period after that picture on the boat with Ari Emanuel.
Yeah.
He went on Ozempic. And so he was on Ozempic and he was also fasting. So he would eat like one meal a day and also on Ozempic. Except the problem is this guy eats, like there was a day when his one meal was donuts. There was another day when his one meal was like a barbecue cheeseburger. There was another day when like he went back to his old neighborhood and he just couldn't help but go to Jack in the Box where he used to go when he was, starting PayPal or whatever, and just ordered like, his combo meal at Jack in the Box. So this guy, the smartest, richest guy in the world, is powered currently by Ozempic and donuts. And
he still lost weight.
And still lost weight. It looks great.
He looks a lot better.
That shows you how powerful Ozempic is.
I mean, yeah, this is wild. So there's 1.7% of people in the U.S. have been prescribed a semaglutide medication, which is these drugs we're talking about. It's up 40-fold over the past 5 years. 15% of adults in the United States have diabetes, and over 40% are obese. So we're talking, we haven't even scratched the surface of how big this business is going to get. And I just think that I just do not see this thing. Like I think 1 in 3, 1 in 4 Americans will be on this in the next 5 years.
Easily. It's going to be the biggest pharmaceutical grab of all time.
Yeah, the biggest ever. And I'm going to go like, I think it transforms like America to a certain extent, like in terms of like health. I think it has enormous impact on healthcare in America. I think it has an enormous impact on insurance in America. I think it will not have an impact on fast food because you get to lose the weight without working out. So like, it's just an unbelievable, it's magical what's happening.
Yeah, that's how's the book?
Incredible. I mean, 10 out of 10.
Wow.
It's just great. I mean, it's really long.
The story 10 out of 10? Is it the writing, or is it just Elon's story itself is 10 out of 10?
Look, I mean, I'll give this, maybe I'm a little biased because I am an Elon fan. So all of the information I just love to hear. But I think unless you absolutely despise him, even if you're just curious about him, it's just to have such a good portrait of such an insane, interesting dude. And it's just like, we've always asked for we've asked for a long time, like, how does he do all of this? How does he manage all these things? Like, you see it in the book. Like, it's just madness. It's just psycho.
It's not like he's like so organized. He just does it. He just goes.
It's just full steam at all times. And what he does is, if he, like, right around the time when he decided to buy Twitter. So the author obviously draws a little bit of his own kind of conclusion because he's such a great biographer, Walter Isaacson. And the way that he sees it is Elon, it's not how does he manage all of the craziness, it's that he absolutely cannot live without the craziness. And when he did the Twitter acquisition, things were actually going pretty well. Like they were consistently getting rockets to launch and land on their own. They didn't have any big blowups. Car production was going well. And then all of a sudden, he literally flew. He quietly bought up a bunch of Twitter shares. They offered him a board seat. He was pondering the board seat. He flew to Larry Ellison's island for the weekend to hang out with an actress, Natasha Bassett. He flew back from the island to San Francisco, stayed up until 5 a.m. playing a video game with Grimes, and then texted and said, you know what, fuck it, let's just buy it. And just went into like chaos because this guy is saying that he doesn't even notice this. Walter Isaacson is saying that he, even when things are going well, he has to go blow something up or go have absolute chaos because that's where he feels
he thrives,
the most comfortable. And it's just chaos. But it's like chaos, but then like, this incredibly smart, very ambitious, very risk hungry person. And that's what you get.
Unbelievable.
So
But it's a great book. The stories are great. The story about his childhood is great. The real look into like how he goes about day-to-day life, and the fact that it's such a good look while he's still alive, such a clear look at such an interesting, one in a trillion person. It's crazy.
So Isaacson in the Steve Jobs book was critical. Was he critical of Elon?
Yeah. Is this a spoiler? No, because he said it in interviews. Essentially, his take is like he's doing insane things for humanity. He does believe that Elon believes that this is all for the good of humanity. He believes that. He was like, at first, it felt like just a motivational speech you'd tell your crowd, but the fact that he never stops saying it and never wanes from it, you actually start to believe, like, I think he believes this. He's really motivational. He's really whatever, but he's also like really dark. And there's really dark moments. And there's times when he says really fucked up things to people. It's just mean and is just harsh to people and whatever. And the question that he sort of leaves you with is, can you have one without the other? Is it the darkness that motivates all the progress? Is it, everyone says, I wish he was a little bit more like this. I wish he wasn't that. But can you take one out without having the other? That's his like level of criticism.
That was Mark Andreessen's point about San Francisco. Like, you need the crazies to get the innovation.
Yeah.
So when the Cash App guy got stabbed to death, he's like, that comes with the territory. Like, he was in this sex cult, like kind of fringe activities, but he's also this brilliant entrepreneur. And
so, I think that's unique to technology people where that is effective. Let me tell you something. I don't think the Ozempic guy is a nut.
The Sacklers aren't doing that.
No, the Sacklers are not. And they yielded the same results, which is make a shitload of money. So I think in technology, it's encouraged. That's the behavior that's encouraged. Because it makes
things.
No, yeah. Well, it's more like we reward in technology. If you're kooky and you're an asshole, he or she is a builder. They're an innovator.
No, but I think it's innovation too. Just large innovation. Because even Einstein had fringe thoughts in the world. And a lot of these brilliant innovators do come from the fringes.
Yeah, I think that's the case. The Sacklers didn't really innovate. They more just like milked.
I thought they were pretty innovative.
It was more what they were innovative as. Yeah, they got the FDA guy on the hook. Whatever they did in that hotel room for 40
days. They sold heroin. Innovation? Okay,
innovation. I think it's because they sold heroin. It's not very innovative. It's very addictive. The innovation was making heroin legal. That's I think the argument, and I don't necessarily agree with it, meaning like I don't think people have to get stabbed and San Francisco has to be crazy for there to be innovation. But the argument is like the people who will make driverless cars and AI and whatever, that's not going to come out of a corporate boardroom.
Yeah. If you think about someone who's imagining driverless cars 20 years ago, you would say that person's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just a matter of time. Like right now in San Francisco, you order an Uber, there's a good chance that it's a driverless car.
Cruise.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. My friends in San Francisco say they're always in driverless cars.
That's wild. I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, there's no drivers, so it makes sense. Where are you even going? You're not going to the store. There's no stores.
Yeah, you might as well test it there.
Are you just going to orgy? Is that all that you can do in San Francisco?
Sex cult to sex cult.
Cult to orgy to cult.
Robo guy, take me to my sex cult. Thank you. Because there's nothing else open.
Yeah. But I think at the end of the day, and that was going to be my content, so I'm just burning it. But I just think, love him or hate him, the fact that we have such a good like documentation of such a wild fucking human.
And he purposely did it while he's at his peak.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he said that there's no one. I mean, obviously, a lot of the people he's written biographies on have, are Benjamin Franklin and people who have died. But like even Steve Jobs and he wrote a book called Code Breaker. Like none of those people gave him the access that Elon gave him.
Yep.
Elon gave him like literally look at anything, hang out in the room when I'm screaming at someone, hang out in the room when I'm playing video games with Grimes. So It's pretty interesting. But I will say the big takeaway is I know now how he balances all this stuff. He's just fucking
Nuts.
crazy nuts, doesn't sleep, survives on Ozempic and donuts, and just fucking is obviously a genius.
Wow.
There you go.
Okay.
You want to talk about AI
Yeah.
real quick? I mean, I know we went long here, but there's a lot going on in the world of AI.
Yeah.
I don't, wherever you want to start, there's a lot. ChatGPT is just
Yeah, so there's a
going
couple
crazy
big
here.
updates with ChatGPT. ChatGPT can now speak and listen and process images. You could literally put an image and say, describe it for me, and it'll break it down completely. It can hear now. It can speak. It is fucking sick. It is,
And now it's not limited to data up to 2021.
and it can now search the internet.
Yeah.
Which I haven't seen that feature yet.
That's all
looked
live?
I don't know if the internet features live. I just got the notification when we started recording the pod, so I've not experienced it. But
Sam Altman tweeted, "We are so back." I don't know what that means.
yeah, they were down and out. They saw a bar, it did boom, boom, knocked him out for a little bit. I think the ChatGPT needed a couple like new features. It was getting a little old. The problem is the speed at which this is happening is crazy. Last December, no one ever heard of this thing. Now everyone's talking about it, but usage has gone down.
For sure.
And so now you add speak, listen, process images, search the internet. Now we're getting to some Terminator shit where we can cause some real damage.
And what hasn't gone down is the valuation.
No. Now you could buy secondary shares of OpenAI, the lovely nonprofit, for $90 billion.
Well, no, it's for profit.
No. It's open source,
Yeah.
nonprofit.
I haven't seen. There's never been a
Why
company
would
in
you
the
buy
history
stock at $90 billion? It is
because you believe it's $1 trillion company. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, why not? I mean, literally, I use this fitness tracker, Whoop. They just announced yesterday, OpenAI is now integrated into Whoop. So I have no idea what it does, but there's literally a new thing that says ask Whoop anything, and you can ask it anything, I guess, about your like fucking heart rate or something. And there's OpenAI integration into Whoop.
This screams of Massa getting in the game.
Well, it also
Like back in the
screams
game, you mean?
because
No, meaning SoftBank, I feel, is the buyer at $90 billion.
Yeah. I mean, back in the game, like, you know, he had a rough couple of years, jump back in.
I mean, he
go
just
all in
had that
on it.
ARM IPO, so he has a lot of cash now.
yeah,
Okay.
So he just dumped it all in OpenAI.
and there's rumors that so there was a Johnny Ive and Sam Altman, I think, talk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think on information. I don't know if it was a talk meeting. I didn't see exactly the details, but the talk was about hardware. There's only one thing in hardware. It's this fucking phone. Like, what else are you building? Right? Like, I don't. No one's gonna go build the next Alexa.
Yep.
Right? Like, you're building something. If you're gonna build hardware, I hope it's not a goggle. Right? Like, I think if you're Sam Altman at this point, you're taking on search. You might as well take on the iPhone too.
Got the capital to do so. So they're doing $1 billion in revenue this year. So they're trading at 90x. It's like the good times are back.
Yeah. There's a lot of fundraisers that have been announced. Stock market definitely is getting its teeth kicked in.
Yeah, because of our best friend Jay Powell.
JP.
Been on a straight downward spiral after he spoke.
Yeah.
We need to get him a Jackson Hole. Make sure he gets that spot that I'm on.
Yeah.
Take care of this guy.
Relax.
We got to get the party rolling again, man.
But yeah, I mean,
Jesus.
And Sam Altman does own 0% stock now of OpenAI.
Do you guys know, also because I'm just fresh off of it, do you know what Elon's doing? Like one of the things he's doing with AI for Tesla, you know how he did XAI or whatever?
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, we don't know what he's doing.
One of the things that he's doing with AI is like when we picture a driverless car, we picture like LiDAR or, you know, hey, I see an object coming out, so I'm going to move to the left. They are training, like every Tesla car has cameras. So that's your data input. So you're training an AI based on video images of what the top 1% of drivers did in each situation. So if a dog runs out in the street, the AI will say, oh, you know, of the millions of times a dog ran out in the street, the top 1% of drivers did this. And so the car itself would actually drive on visual and on AI from all the video learning, as
Oh my
opposed to
God.
like
That's crazy.
radar. Yeah, that's what
He's hot.
that's like the big thing. It's
That Ozempic's
crazy.
working.
Yeah, but just when it comes to the AI battle, I mean, I think he has so much. When it comes to data, no one has more data of both autonomous driving and cameras viewing drivers than Tesla.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, look, the AI thing is just bananas. I think it's going to be, and we've said this before, it's really hard to compete with the big tech, and now the OpenAI is clearly the leader. Everyone else is basically, what are you doing?
Yeah, and OpenAI has Microsoft's bank behind them.
And they have CoreWeave.
So it could be $1 trillion company if they own AI.
Yeah. I don't doubt that it can. It's just like it literally has to be SoftBank at this point. Most funds aren't given the permission to invest on a private.
What's crazy is everyone thought it was crazy when they raised $30 billion 6 months ago.
Yeah,
like Founders Fund, all those, a bunch of VCs jumped in on that round. They're already 3x
in less than a year.
Yeah,
if I'm one of those funds, I'm out.
they probably are.
Yeah, we made 3x on like a $200 million or $1 billion, whatever. Get out. Who
It's
cares?
a trade.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. All right. We'll see what happens. Should we wrap it up?
Yeah.
Do it.
All right. Let's do our winners, losers content. D, who's your winner for the last week?
My winner is Alex Earl. Alex Earl, who we've talked about on this pod a while back, who like exploded on TikTok. I always felt when I saw her popping off, she was going to be the one. Like she's the next big, like has the potential to be a Kardashian Jenner type personality. She launched a podcast under Alex Cooper. It is now the #1 podcast on Spotify, dethroning Joe Rogan.
Right now,
for like the day it came out, which means it got millions of fucking downloads.
Yeah,
and
it's exclusive because Alex Cooper is exclusive.
Yes, it is like Alex Earl is a $1 billion machine. She's going to be,
or is Alex Cooper?
Alex Cooper will make the money off the pod. I really think Alex Earl is going to be a consumer machine. She's going to launch the brands, the beauty, the skincare, the clothing line. She's a gold mine.
Yeah, and it just on social media, it feels like Alex Cooper is the face of young females right now.
I think she realizes that she is getting older, and that's why she went and got Alex Earl.
Portnoy normally bats a great batting average. Letting Alex Cooper go was probably a big mistake.
I don't think he had a choice.
I just think they couldn't or weren't willing to pay what Spotify was. So maybe they couldn't, but maybe they also weren't willing. Maybe like that was a big swing he should have taken. I mean, couldn't he have raised the money or done the thing?
Easily.
I don't know.
But I don't think you knew it, at that time. He's just like, I'm doing these like shitty little podcasts. How big can these actually be?
And also, would it have been worth that same price to Barstool? Like maybe Spotify has so much money and they're playing a long game of trying to lock in listeners.
Content.
Maybe they can burn that. Whereas I don't know that Barstool that would have returned.
And
I don't know if Barstool was the right fit for Alex Cooper too. Like from a brand alignment standpoint, probably not where Alex Cooper wants to be 5 years from now.
She also pivoted her content from raunchy to now just like adult behavior.
Exactly. So I think like she made the right transition. She also made to me, the only person that could replace the younger version of herself is Alex Earl, who I think is going to be an even bigger star. And I just think that, man, this girl's going to be a money-making machine.
Yeah. The crazy thing is like 9 months ago, she didn't exist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you went from like no one speaking about you to like
everybody.
But to G's point, that's a big call because very few A-listers can sell product.
Yeah.
We see it time and time again.
Yeah. She can sell product.
Yeah, it's just nuts. It's just nuts how fast it can happen.
Yeah. It's amazing.
You know,
It's the
like
power
someone
of the
needs to
talk.
be like Greg, should do this from the D'Amelio camp, but like someone needs to be the like, okay, I can pick the next star and I can get you the podcast, the beauty brand, the apparel brand, the fucking, like you can do it all. You could go from working at Starbucks to having a mini empire in 12 months at this speed.
Oh yeah, easily.
Like Alex Earl could have a beauty brand in any store, any chain, all doors,
In all Targets,
and it would be the top seller.
I mean, as fast as you can make it.
Yeah.
What's your
It's wild.
shtick?
What? She just, she was doing these like I'm going out Friday night party video types, like getting ready, and she has a big personality, and it just resonated.
Yeah. It just clicked. I don't know why.
Good for her.
Okay.
Mr. Wang liked Alex Earl and said,
There you go.
Yeah, he did. Thumb on the scale.
I like this girl.
On it, who's your winner? Mr. Wang?
Mr. Wang's always winning.
Yeah.
Winning time should have been based on
Yeah, for real.
my winner is the lovely people of Milwaukee, small market sports town, and they made a big trade today. Damian Lillard is now teaming up with Giannis. There are rumors Giannis wanted to leave, and you thought it'd be this typical story, like Milwaukee homegrown as a professional athlete. Free agency comes, he goes to New York, LA, Miami, and small market team gets screwed again. But now with Damian Lillard there, I think Milwaukee will be competing for titles, and small market teams finally get a win.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's big. It's great for the sport.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it, but it seems pretty exciting. And I'm a big Giannis guy, so anything that'll help him
Yep.
get some rings. All right, my winner is a leftover. I'm a real friggin' Pat McAfee over here. My winner is actually going to be a leftover from our news that we didn't get to. My winner is Costco because they have a hot new product that is selling out like hotcakes. And I don't know what it says about the current trust in our financial system, but that product is gold bars. So apparently they're selling out faster than Ozempic, but if you can catch a drop, you can buy gold bars from Costco, and people are just, they're off the shelves before they even hit.
I think that also is a big point to like the mind state of Americans, that they feel like they have to put their money in gold bars because they just are so afraid of what's happening in the country.
Well, and it's like the Costco, like to think that the Costco crowd,
which is the rich crowd,
saying, "No, we got to stack up on these gold bars." It's just pretty wild. It's a pretty everybody, pretty mainstream America.
Yeah,
I mean, Mr. Wang could just make a TikTok video, go get gold bars, and
there's a bank run.
Yeah,
there's a bank run.
Easy. I'm not kidding you. That is not so far from the truth. Like you could really do that. I mean, we saw what happened with the First Republic meltdown and all that stuff.
Like
that was internet driven.
If I was running for president, I would hire a chief TikTok officer, and I would sit there all day. I would get Alex Earl. I would get all the best American TikTokers in a room and say, we are going to destroy the world with content. How do we do it?
I mean, your boy Vivek is kind of doing it.
Yeah.
He's big on TikTok.
Yeah, he really, and that's my point, is that like, as a government,
37.
People think everything is a joke. A TikTok is a joke, but as a government, it is. You can weaponize. It's better than a missile.
Yeah.
Who are you hurting with the missile? Fucking 5,000 people. You could hurt 50 million people with content. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's also, you shoot a missile, you gotta be waiting for a missile to come back. You just slowly do it over 10 years, and it's like, oh fuck. Well, we don't even know who to attack.
Yeah, you can weaponize the shit out of content.
Man.
I'm sure CIA has a TikTok division.
For sure. CIA's good.
I don't know. They've been so good lately.
I know. I mean, you can't even get fucking Facebook in China. So the fuck are you doing? We're just taking L's over here. Okay, what are we on losers? D, who's your loser for the week?
It just blinked. I don't remember. I just had a loser. Oh my
Okay, well,
God.
think about it. Anand, do you have yours?
My loser is pretty much every pop star not named Taylor Swift.
Oh God.
I just feel
Wow.
like she's controlled the entire media. Like she's controlled TikTok, social media, Instagram, sports news now, everything. It's really tough
What
to
about
compete.
Doja Cat?
What about Doja Cat?
She's popping.
Boffin.
Okay.
Not interested?
No.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. D, who's your
I
loser?
literally cannot remember.
Okay, I'll give you mine. Mine is once again, the Democrats, Biden. Keep in mind, listeners, don't get mad at me. I'm a registered Democrat. I'm sad. I'm not celebrating here, but there's there's these new polls and stuff coming out where Trump just has a lot of momentum, and there seems to be, a lack of interest in these polls from Democrats in the upcoming election. There seems to be a bigger interest in Republicans by the polling. It's just scary, it's just like, this is all like, we have fun with it and it's great for content and whatever, but we're getting closer and closer to election time and it's going to be absolute madness. And I just think that allowing Biden to continue to have these blunders, these weird moments, these things, and have no answer, and instead to just act like nothing's happening. And it's going to be him running again, it looks like.
Yeah.
I just really feel like we're setting ourselves up to say, what the fuck were we thinking, come December next year.
I agree.
Okay,
I'm with you.
that's all.
My
Pretty
loser
obvious.
is actually Meta. I was reading about all their kind of new product updates. This guy will not leave the damn metaverse.
He's still pumping it.
He's talking about celebrity AI assistants. He's talking about little icons. Like, we're done with that shit. We're done.
Yeah,
we're not
that's
doing no metaverse. We're all going to be skinny. We're going to talk to ChatGPT.
Skinny eating donuts and cheeseburgers like Elon.
Yeah, metaverse was a good play when we thought we were all going to be fat and you didn't want to leave your house.
That's a good point.
Now we're all going to be skinny and our confidence is going to be through the roof.
Yeah,
The
we're all gonna
last
start
place I'd want to
OnlyFans.
be is metaverse.
Invest in OnlyFans and Ozempic. It's just, that's where everyone's spending their time.
Yes. I mean,
Everyone's going to get skinny, start an OnlyFans, go on vacations.
exactly. Metaverse?
Metaverse? Yeah, I agree. I couldn't agree more. It's time to bail. Change it back to Facebook, watch the stock pop, and just go fucking try to put somebody in a headlock. You're fine.
Exactly.
And steal.
And steal. Zuck should steal. He should be like, hey, look how easy it is to steal. I just stole 3 deodorants from CVS. What are we on? Content? D, what's your content?
USC is at Colorado. It is a mega college football
Oh,
game.
no. You guys got to lose. Give them some
No,
momentum back.
We're gonna
Unfortunately, like,
Give them some steam.
yeah, my original loser was actually going to be primetime because, I think he's done a great job and I actually don't want to call him a loser and I am a big fan of his, but you just can't lose.
Got to lose. Solomon, take the L on this one.
Solomon's going to get 2-3 more sacks. He's number 3 in the country in sacks.
Solomon's just a killer, huh? He was just in here, just a fucking intern, and this guy's just a sacking machine.
Yeah.
I texted him before last game. I was like, we need 2 sacks. And he delivered.
Wow.
What
That's
are
a
you
good
going to tell him
intern.
now? Take out Sanders' career?
Put the nail in the coffin.
This game, what I'm going to manifest is fumble recovery touchdown.
Wow. Okay.
Whoa. Okay.
All right.
Well, look, I think you guys should consider, taking a fall. Get the primetime energy back.
Caleb
If he
Williams,
does,
Caleb Williams after this weekend will be bigger than primetime for college football.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Well, I'm
What's
sad
yours?
to see it go.
My
What's yours, Alan?
content, talked about it a little bit on Sunday night. Dumb money,
Yeah, I gotta
tracking
watch
the whole
that.
Reddit scandal of stopping the trading when they were about to send GameStop to the moon. And it's a fantastic movie. Highly recommend if it's out in the city you live in, go check it out.
Where'd you
Okay.
go? Century City?
Grove.
Is it an iPick?
No, not yet.
Son of a
No
bitch.
pick.
Okay, well, I gotta go see that. That's definitely right up my alley. Also, props to like, you can become a star really quick like Alex Earl, but also we get a turnaround on these blockbuster movies really quickly.
Yeah.
What was the old turnaround for a film about an event?
Years.
3 decades?
Yeah.
Yep.
How long after Pearl Harbor did Pearl Harbor come out? Now you wait 6 months and you got a feature film starring fucking Ben Affleck.
Pearl Harbor movie came like 40 years later.
Oh, there you go. Look at how quick our turnaround is increased. Mine is a fight big shocker because I already used the Elon book. Canelo Alvarez, Jermell Charlo. Big fight.
Isn't Canelo going to kill him?
Yep.
Okay.
Should be fun though. I mean, it's not really a big fight. It's not a deal break. Not anything for Canelo other than another win. If somehow Charlo won, it would be really big for him. Not very likely, but something fun to watch. It's Canelo.
Is Canelo undefeated?
No, he lost to
lost
Mayweather,
to Floyd, right? Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he
All right,
lost
I'd love
recently
to talk
to
boxing, but I gotta go.
Dimitri Bivol. All right, great episode. Thanks for listening. Hey, if you liked it, share it. All right, we'll see you next week.